Hey everyone. Hello. Come on in. I'm so excited to have you all here with me. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy day after Thanksgiving. If you celebrate this American holiday in a different country, but you still took on this, celebration, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. But to all of my American people, I want to say happy Thanksgiving. I pray that your days have been a success. Thanksgiving Eve, Thanksgiving Day, and of course today, the day after Thanksgiving. Listen, I am so excited to share with you this particular live with you, or coming to you with this particular hold on, give me 1 second. I need to get some things situated. So I'm super excited to have you here with me, and to know that we are in this space together. So as you are coming in, listen, do me a favor. As you are coming in, tag someone and let them know that Kristy Angelee, she is in the room, and we're inviting you in the room as well. Okay. So we're inviting you into this space. We're inviting you in this room. I think I'm going to get ready to cut off. We're doing some updating on a few things. So if you see anything going on that is kind of funky, please let me know. That's my nephew back there. Tell him hello. I am currently at a different location. We are having our continuation of our festivities on today. So I'm super excited about that. So join me. We are here. We are live. Join me. Say hi when you enter the space so that I can know who all is with me on this lovely Friday afternoon or Friday evening. It's Black Friday. Okay, so I know that you are getting your coins together, trying to figure out what you are purchasing for upcoming holiday season. Hold on 1 second. Upcoming holiday seasons and all the good things. So it's going to be kind of loud in the background. Let me just do some really quick things right quick. All right, so that's what happens when you're doing an impromptu and you got a lot going on. That's what happens. So okay, so welcome into this space. I'm glad you're here today. Honestly, I am super glad you're here today. Today I am wanting to share with you something that is near and dear to my heart. Today isn't a class, it's a moment. It isn't a me talking. I was kind of taken aback yesterday because there was a situation that occurred, and I, with my son, one of my sons, and I asked if he wanted me to give him some helpful advice, and he said, "Let me tell you what he said. Lean in just a little bit. Let me tell you what he said. He said no." And the reason why he said no, because he was tired of me talking to him, always having conversations with him, like getting talked to by me. And I was like, okay, so I just allowed it to be, and I just allowed it to be. And so then he ended up saying, why are you looking at me? So what is it? Tell me what you got to say. As not in a from what I was wanting to say, but so I was just allowing that space to be. I was just allowing whatever he was saying just to be, and listen and learn and grow and mature and realize myself as a parent and all the things. One of my things that I am focusing on this holiday season is making sure I create memories that I would be, so grateful to remember, creating memories that I would enjoy reflecting over, thinking back over, creating memories that I would love to, talk about and dig more deeply into. Okay, so that is something that is the forefront of my mind this holiday season, is creating memories that I don't have to, tuck my head in shame or try to explain something or try to fix anything. So living through my authentic self. First, that's being a believer, a kingdom leading woman, right? And so I have to make sure that in everything that I do, I want to make sure I am being led by the Spirit so that I won't fall into any of the traps that the enemy has planned. So I had to just sit with that for a moment and just allow it to be what it is, and be okay with that. And honestly, I was okay with that because I am learning to allow them to be who they are, right? To grow into the people, the person that God has called them to be, and just be here to be a mentor, be here to be a guide, a shoulder they can cry on. So, let me know in the comments if that is something that you are having to realize as a parent, parenting, in different stages of life. Okay. So let me know that in the comments. Okay. So this is about a moment to breathe, to reset, to remember that you get to write the story of how you walk through this holiday season. So I had clarity going into this holiday season. So you want to write the vision. Listen, I'm already teaching. Okay. I'm already, I already said it wasn't a class, but I'm already dropping gems and nuggets. You want to write, have a vision for your holiday. You want to have a vision for every day, but these are set aside times for you to gather with a group of people, a crowd of people, or if it's something that is a small group of people, maybe just you and someone else. But whatever it is, whatever your gathering looks like, you want to be intentional. I wanted to be intentional. I wanted to come into this holiday season knowing what I wanted to leave out with, knowing what I wanted to come in and bring and provide. And my goal is to add value. And if I can't add value, then I have to check myself and say, why aren't you able to add value? Sometimes it can be not because you aren't qualified or equipped to add value. It can be because the other person is not ready to receive the value that you are there to bring, that you are there to add. I can definitely go scripture with you and on how Jesus himself wanted to add value to his own hometown. But he says, because of their unbelief, because they didn't want to hear, because they didn't want to receive, he couldn't do the miracles that he wanted to do. So it limited him, what he was wanting to leave with them, what he wanted to add to them. So we can actually be so valuable, but where we are wanting to, add value to, they aren't ready to receive it. And so what Jesus do? He didn't walk away sad as far as, feeling all unimportant or feeling all, not needed or having this void, because he teaches that when he sent the disciples off two by two, he says, if anyone don't receive you, this is what you do. You shake the dust from off your feet. Don't allow that to settle in your spirit and make you question and doubt your purpose, doubt your identity, doubt the reason why I have sent you, doubt the reason why I have called you. So when you are going into this Thanksgiving, my goal was, as I'm going into this Thanksgiving season, I want to add value, and realizing everybody isn't ready to receive the type of value you are able and capable of bringing to the table, because they're not there yet. They're still maybe remembering when you were, or responding to you from a place of they haven't matured in, they haven't grown in, and so they are responding to you to a low level, a low place from who they are and where they are. And it has nothing to do with you. It has absolutely nothing to do with your skills. Has nothing to do with your capacity, your ability, with your identity, your purpose, your assignment. It has everything to do with them. And what we don't want to do, and what I didn't want to do when that came about, was I didn't want to force anything. Right. And so when I just allowed the space to be what the atmosphere was calling for, and just allowed it, the question then turned to, what do you have to say? And so I was like, okay, you know what? I shared from a place of, I've been there too. I shared from a place of, other people was in that same space, so you were not alone. Just so that it wouldn't be, I needed Holy Spirit to lead and guide me on what to say and how to handle that situation, and how to not allow the enemy come in and steal, kill, and destroy what God was wanting to build in that moment. I didn't want to walk away from Thanksgiving and feeling like I should have done this differently. I should have said this differently. Even when you say nothing at all, Let it be a gracious nothing at all. Let it be in an understanding, in a nothing at all that says, I hear you, I respect you, and my purpose is here to serve you, not take away anything from you. And that is my purpose with my children. That's my purpose with my family. That's my purpose with my friends. That's my purpose with you. It's to add value to your life, and however that looks going forward. And so this is what I have prepared. So I'm going to share with you even more what I have prepared. So this is, again, a moment for you to just recalibrate who you are, to write your own story, to walk through the way you want to walk through this season, whether you're coming in tired, hopeful, confused, or just ready for something new. There is room for you here. That's the first thing I want you to understand and realize, that I create space. I create those growth moments, those growth opportunities. So there is room for you here. There is room for you in my community, in this community. There is room for you in what God has given me, assigned me to do, to complete. There is room for you. So I want to share this story with you, because sometimes we may not understand or recognize and feel like there is a room, or that how can this person really understand what I'm going through, or really what I'm faced with. Okay, so your holiday story may be similar to mine. I want to start with something personal. Years ago, my sons and I were living in another state, a women's state, living in a women's shelter in another state. It was a holiday season, and it was just me and my children, no family, no friends, no transportation, no money. What should have been a beautiful time felt heavy inside of me. It felt so heavy inside of me, a whirlwind. But let me tell you how life works when grace shows up. And you may not have been able to recognize grace in your life yet, but grace is there. It shows up when it's like those God surprises. It's those God kisses. It shows up when you least expect it, and also when you expect it. It shows up. A sister of mine came through for us, and suddenly we were in a completely new state. So this is moving to Alabama. We were in a different states before we moved to Alabama, and in that new space, abundance followed us. It flowed. I remember, when getting ready for their first day of school, or first week of school, no transportation. So I'm looking at GPS, trying to figure out how long it would be for us to walk to school. In the cold, it was like, it was this season, literally this season. And so we were trying to figure out, happy holidays, Miguel. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for joining. And so trying to figure out, so I have my phone trying to, like, how long is it going to take us to get from where we are to the school? And so we started out walking, so I'm like, we got to get there. There is no, this is the situation we're in. We're just going to have to do what we need to do to make ends meet, make it happen. There's no need. My thing is, I'm not crying over spilled milk. There's no need to cry over spilled milk. It's spilled. Now, what's the solution? All right. That's what happened. It's spilled. Clean it up. Let's get it clean. Ain't no need use for us sit there, waddle over it, become depressed or you know, distraught over something that, okay, it's done. It happened. Yes, it hurts, it stings. Now let's get it cleaned up. What is the solution to the problem, the challenges that we're faced with? So the only solution that I had at that moment was, we're gonna have to walk. We're gonna have to, it's cold, y'all bundle up. I had to think about Christmas story when they had the baby boy all bundled up and he couldn't move and his arms were stuck. It was a whole thing. But I had to do what we had to do to make ends meet in that moment. So we get to walking, and this sweet, sweet soul stopped to give us a ride. So I don't know how far we had gotten, but I'm like cold and all the things. And so they stopped and asked us if we wanted to ride, asked us where we were going and stuff, and I let them know where we were going, all the things. And they gave us a ride. And from that moment, it was just seeing the grace and the goodness of God from where, end up getting a vehicle, getting an abundance of clothing and food and toys and just a lot of great and amazing things, right? So we had food, community, people who wrapped around us like family every holiday after that. So we have not had one holiday where we weren't able to spend it with, even if it was an intentional spending it alone for to ourselves, but we had the opportunity to spend it with others. That was the grace of God, his love, his favor overflowing, his gift to us during that holiday season. So every holiday after that, we never missed a celebration. We always had more than enough, not because money magically appeared, because let me tell you, money did not magically appear. I remember one, year where I was expecting, your income tax, my income tax to, receive that. And I already had planned out what I was going to do with it, as we all do with income and stuff. And when our income tax comes, and so I had planned on what I was doing, where I was going to invest, what we was needing, all the things. So income tax come, and I'm checking the status and make sure, and my money was gone. My money was gone. Okay. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And I was like, oh my word, what in the world? I was livid. I was like, this cannot be. And I had to regroup. I had to replan things, right? And so sometimes things like that happen when you're planning, especially when it comes to finances, and you're already robbing Peter to pay Paul, as they say. And when you're expecting a great amount of funds, and then it's gone, that's a hit. So I'm like, okay, so let me tell you, finances did not magically appear, but because my mindset shifted, my belief shifted, my planning shifted, and my inner world changed how my outer world felt. I did not walk around with my head held down when I had to walk 45 minutes to and from work, making $8 and some change as a manager, trying to keep an apartment over a roof over our head, and clothes and stuff, food and all the things, right? My mindset was that, God, you are still good, that you were going to allow me to be able to navigate these places successfully. What must I do? What do I need to do in this moment? So I had to have a new mind. I had to create myself and allow God to transform my mind and my mindset up for the situation, so that I can successfully navigate this situation and not become bitter, not become broken, not become one of those, just life happens and I'm just going to take it as it is, and living on government assistance and from all the things that I could have allowed myself to fall into, and just become another statistic, just become another stereotype, just become another, oh, that's just another, as people would say, what they call about black women, angry black women, or a broken single mom, or any of these labels that we find in the community of Black, Indigenous people of color. No, I decided to shift. I decided to look at the situation, understood and understand where I was going, who I was called to be, having a vision for my life, and understanding where I am is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not my story. I have to tell myself this: I have too much purpose, I have too much greatness, I have too much impact, I have too much influence to allow myself to waddle here, to stay here, and allow this to become my story. I decided that I had enough in me. This is where the WIC, the inventory in the WYIC comes along. Understanding what you can go to what you have in you and start utilizing what you have in you. So I had to shift my inner world so my outer world could shift. I had to shift my inner world so my outer world could shift. I need you to write that down. I need you to say, my outer world my inner world has to shift so my outer world can shift. So one of my favorite truths is something Brian Tracy teaches. He says, your outer world will always reflect your inner world. That's heavy. Your outer world will always reflect your inner world. What's going on in here It's going to show up out there. It's going to show up in your relationships. It's going to show up on your job. It's going to show up in, the way that you communicate, what's in you. If you're confused, if you are lacking integrity and morals, it's going to show up. You can only hide it for so long, but when you get in these right environments, in these right places, in these amongst the right people and the right weight and the pressure, it's going to show up. What's in you is going to come out. Okay, so you want to be able to play. What I wanted to come out of me this Thanksgiving season was value. I wanted to add value. So whenever I was pressured, whenever I felt weight, or whenever I was in heated situations, or whenever I felt overwhelmed by, chaos or confusion, I already had in me what my vision, my goal for myself for this holiday season was, I want to add value. I want to walk away from this Thanksgiving season knowing that I have good memories. I have wonderful memories, not something that I wish I should have done differently. I wish I would have said this differently. I wish I would have handled something differently. I wish I would have participated in this event differently instead of pulling myself away. This is why my 5:30 a.m. 5:30. We're in the 30-day challenge, prayer challenge right now. And this is why it's so important to get up and have that reflective moment with yourself, to align yourself, to speak over yourself, to know who you are and who you want to be, how you want to show up in various situations, knowing what's going to come, knowing what's happening, so that you can already start speaking to yourself, and adjusting yourself for the situation. I'm not going to say that every time you get in these spaces that it's going to be 100% on the dot, because that's where growth has to take place. Okay, because challenges are going to come to challenge your resolve, what you have stated that you are wanting to do. So this is what we're talking on today. When your mindset changes, your money follows. So when your mindset changes, your money follows. This is why it's so important to know who you are, know how you're operating, know how you are living through your truths. Because when your mindset changes, your inner world follows. I want you to write that down. When your mindset changes, your inner world follows. That's going to be your confession. Let that be your guide. When your mindset changes, your money follows. When your peace deepens, your decisions strengthens. When your peace, when you have this great sense and depth of peace within you, then your decisions strengthen. When you make a choice, when you make a decision to live through this, just because this is the holiday season, and no matter who shows up and where they're coming from, what person I can't stand in my family and all the things, or somebody called me into work and all the things, when you have this real peace about yourself, your decision, I made the decision for this, I choose, your decisions strengthen, they are supported, you don't have to worry about faulty way of navigating in the spaces that you're in, or failing, because your decisions are strengthened when your peace deepens. When you believe abundance is possible, you start acting like a woman or a man who deserves it. When you believe this, your belief system. What do you believe? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about finances? What do you believe about, life in general? What do you believe? When you believe abundance, do you have a poor thinking mentality, a poverty mentality? When you are always living in a less than state, I can't afford this. This is too much. This is I gotta shop cheaper, or that costs too much, and your abundance, but what you believe is possible. You start acting like a man or woman who deserves it. You deserve the best. I deserve the best. I deserve to be able to walk into a store and purchase what I want to purchase. If it costs 100, 500, 1,000, whatever the cost is, I deserve it. Okay. So when you start living from a different place in your thinking, then you start acting like the person who deserves it. That's why festive finances is not just about budgeting. It's not just about budgeting. It's about believing again. It's about reclaiming your life again. It's about being able to, shop in those stores that you desire to shop in. It's about being able to travel, and get your passport and being able to, put food on the table the way you want to put food on the table. Wear what you desire to wear. And invest in companies, and invest in ministries, invest in your children, invest in your community the way that you desire to invest. This is what Festive Finances is all about. It's not about budgeting. It's not just a budgeting. Here go another budgeting tool, right? Another budgeting resources. It's believing. It's a belief system. It's believing that provision is possible. What do you believe about provision right now? What do you believe? Believing that joy doesn't have to be delayed. Joy does not have to be delayed. So there's three small shifts that I want you to do right now. I want you to do today. Okay, are you ready? I want you to do three small shifts. So I want to give you these so that you can walk away through the next, few weeks. That you can walk through the next few weeks. Before you spend, I want you to pause, ask, is this buying peace or buying pressure? Am I okay? Especially today, Black Friday. I could say Black History Month. Black Friday. You have all these offers, and all of the good things that are coming out, and your eyes are big. TikTok is really, playing on you and saying you need to get this. Timu is out there, marketing and sharing, and people showing up and how wonderful this is and how great that is, and you need this product and you need all of these things. So I want you to ask yourself, is this buying peace or buying pressure? We can become so, you know, what is the word I want to use? Hypnotized. Hypnotized by all the messages that's going on, that we actually think when we're purchasing is purchasing in peace instead of pressure, because we feel like we have made that decision. We have made the decision to purchase whatever it is that is purchasing, when in fact it is the marketing, this subtle marketing that we are always, being filled with. So when the finances finally get in our hands, or the moment, or the Black Friday happens, we go and purchase that thing, not knowing that the marketer has already made the decision for you to purchase what you're about to purchase. That was good. So that one question was, save your money and your sanity. Am I buying? Is this buying peace or buying pressure? Do number two is, do one calm reset every day. Do one calm reset. One calm reset every day. You want to take a deep breath, a 5-minute walk, a worship moment, whatever closes the stress loop in your body. Regulated emotions regulates or regulated finances. Regulated emotions, regulated finances. When you regulate your emotions, you are able to regulate your finances. You have better control, better thinking, better emotional, you've been in better emotional space, because we have those that are emotional shoppers. That's just like people who are emotional eaters. When they're stressed, when they're happy, all the things that your emotions, you lead with your emotions instead of, leading with logic, or having clarity on your life, and all the things about, okay, if I eat this piece, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to stay healthy, but if I go here. But so regulated emotions, regulated finances. Okay, so number three is, you want to choose one tiny financial action today. One small financial action today. All right, you're going to have a lot of challenges come your way on today, but you want to choose one small financial action today, and that is, check your bank balance. Something that we may not want to look at, especially when we know we're not so, our bank, we don't have a good relationship. That you're always in and out of the red zone. That you're always, 1 minute y'all loving one another, and 1 minute it's a hate, relationship, and all the things, right? So you want to check your bank balance. Move $10 into savings. Okay. Plan one meal. Send one email. Don't aim for big, aim for consistent. What can you be consistent with? We don't have to try to take on everything. If you don't have the capacity, you can get overwhelmed and you won't see any type of movement happening or real, a real dent in what you're doing, and it could be overwhelming, and then it would make you want to stop. It'll make you want to give up. It make you want to not see any wins, not see that you are victorious. So you want to do aim for consistency. This is building discipline within yourself. You're going to start growing. You're going to start healing. You're going to start receiving breakthrough. You're going to start seeing yourself, opening or going into places that you never would have imagined yourself going into places when you start, building consistency in your life. Consistency compounds. Consistency compounds. Okay. So if these few minutes are already lifting something inside of you, if you're already feeling, a renewed mind, a renewed way of thinking, a healing, if you're already, sensing that, okay, there is something greater for my life. There's something better for my life. Imagine what happens when you get the full blueprint, okay? Not just mindset, not just encouragement, not just, any of these, feel good, but strategy, structure, and step by step tools for the holiday season and beyond. That's why I built inside the Festive Finances bundle. You're getting over 5 hours of webinars. Festive Finances parts 1 and 2. And I tell you, they're going to bless you really good. I want you to be able to go ahead and grab that. I'm going to already say this QR code that you see over here in my top left here. I want you to go ahead and scan that QR code so you can go ahead and get the Festive Finances bundle. Okay, 2 ebooks: Overcoming Barriers and Achieving Success, and Navigating the Holiday Season or Holidays with Financial Wisdom, and access to my Ask Me Anything space. It's a total of over $300, but right now you can access the entire bundle for less than $200 until November 30th. Okay, we have such a short window for this that I'm leaving this up until November 30th. Whether you choose the bundle or not, I want you to walk out of this. Listen here, listen to me, listen good. I want you to walk out of this life believing one thing: you don't have to survive this season. I want you to hear me. You don't have to survive this season. You can shape it. You can lead it. You can walk through it with grace. Walk through it with confidence. Walk through it with power. So here's the link again, or this um QR code that you see up here on your left. I want you to go ahead and scan that QR code, and I want us to step into abundance together. You all have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Be great. Pick one thing that you can do today, and I will see you all soon on the other side of Festive Finances.